Hey there, it's Tyler from Nelly Security, and today we're going to take a look at Uniview's outdoor mini PTZ security cameras. These 2 megapixel PTZ cameras come in 3 models. We have the Standard PTZ, an Active Deterrence PTZ, and a lighter pan and tilt model. All 3 cameras are compact, attractive, and powerful. They each have auto-tracking functionality as well as human body detection, so you never have to worry about missing out on important movement in your surveillance feeds. They all have pretty crisp and clear two-way audio, so you can communicate with anyone around your cameras from anywhere in the world. These cameras are also built with LightHunter technology, which means they have a pretty good low-light sensor for seeing in color, even in the dark. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at each one of these cameras. Alright, first up we have our standard Uniview outdoor mini PTZ. This thing has got all the basic functions that you would expect to see on a PTZ. It's got this 345-degree pan. It's got this 90-degree tilt. And it also has a 4x zoom with a 2.8 to 12 millimeter optical zoom lens. This can store up to 256 PTZ patrols. Like I mentioned, it's got full HD 1080p resolution at 2 megapixels. It shoots at 30 frames per second. So there is a micro SD card slot if we take the cover off the back of the camera using the included hex wrench. You can see inside underneath the dome here, we do have this micro SD card slot, which can hold up to 128 gigabytes of onboard storage. Here at the very bottom of the lens is our microphone for two-way audio. At the top above the lens is our speaker. The IR range on this camera is 164 feet. Looking at the cable connections here, we have our RJ45 connector for Ethernet cable for connecting this to your network. We have a 12-volt DC connector, and we also have a, this is the reset button here in the pigtail. That's pretty much it for this camera. Let's go ahead and move on to our pan and tilt model. This one is exactly like the standard PTZ, but the difference is there is no Z. It's just PT. So it has a 4 millimeter fixed lens here instead of that 2.8 to 12 millimeter zoom lens of the standard PTZ. One other slight difference, it does have a 98-foot IR distance instead of 164-foot, but that 98-foot IR range is not bad at all. It's still got a pretty good distance. Since this camera does have less movable parts because of that 4 millimeter fixed lens, this is a more affordable camera. So if you're looking for all of these features that we've talked about, you know, auto tracking, human body detection, two-way audio, LightHunter technology, just a compact outdoor PTZ body, but if the zoom function isn't as important to you, then you can save a little bit of money going with this pan and tilt model. And finally, we come to our active deterrence model. And this housing is the same as the other 2 PTZs. The obvious difference being the strobe light on top, these lights on the bottom of the lens, and other than that, everything else is exactly the same. It has the microphone in the same place, it has the speaker on top, 345-degree pan, 90-degree tilt, 4x zoom, with the same 2.8 to 12 millimeter zoom lens as the standard PTZ. It's got the full 165-foot IR range, LightHunter technology, all those PTZ patrols and everything else. This is the most feature-packed version of the 3 cameras simply because of those active deterrence features. All right, that's enough talking, so let's go ahead and switch gears and watch these cameras in action. All right, our active deterrence PTZ is now installed here on the south end of our building. It's got a nice wide view of our west parking lot as well as our south parking lot. This is going to be a great location and it offers a great view of our property. And as you can see behind me, I do have this camera connected to a Uniview NVR, and I'm also using our Uniview NVR keyboard and PTZ joystick just to make things a lot smoother. This is how we're going to be navigating around with this camera. We can zoom out and we can just make a lot of smooth and fluid motions all at once. So let's go ahead and jump into this interface. Now obviously this is our live view, and again, like I said, we can see pretty much everything that we need to see. Our entire west parking lot. Over here we have the south side of our building. We've got really good coverage here. Alright, let's check out what we have available to us here from the live view. You can see that we do have presets and patrols here. So we can navigate here to the front of our parking lot. I want to add a preset here. And we can call this preset number 1. We can call it front parking lot. And then maybe we want to zoom in there on the entrance to our parking lot, and we can plop a preset there, north entrance. And now we can call any of these presets. Just with a simple click. So because all three of these cameras do have two-way audio, from the live screen we can also enable that audio, so we can turn audio on and we can hear exactly what's going on out there. And these also have built-in microphones, so let's see if we can get a conversation going with somebody out there. Hey AJ, what's going on? Hey, what do you think of this new camera?
Pretty sweet.
Alright, awesome. And you can see it's tracking him as he goes back towards the office. And once he's gone, it comes back to where it was before. Now so far, everything I've shown you is available on all three of these camera models: the Standard PTZ, the Pan and Tilt model, and the Active Deterrence model, obviously because that's the camera that we're using here. Let's go ahead and jump into the menu and check out some additional features of these cameras. Under the PTZ menu, you can see that we can set up some timeout settings. We can set a home position so that after, let's say, 60 seconds of being idle, we jump to preset 1, something like that. We can set up limits if we don't want to use the full pan and tilt field available to us. If we want to limit that at all, we can. We can set up a remote control. This remote control, however, only goes through the NVR. It cannot connect directly to the PTZ, so keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and jump into these intelligent events. Now, the intelligent events are going to be the same on all three models. They both have auto tracking, and they both have human body detection. Obviously, the way that the Active Deterrence camera handles these will be a little bit different just because of those Active Deterrence features, but the basic principles are the same. So first, let's check out auto tracking. So I'm going to jump into the settings for this, click on Enable Auto Tracking, and boom, auto tracking is now enabled. We can have it just continuously track however long an object is moving, or we can take that off and set the max tracking time. I'm just going to have it continuously track. And there is an algorithm with these cameras. It's not just going to track anything that moves. Obviously, as you can see here, that would be bad for us because we are next to this pretty busy street. If this camera were to track everything, it would just be tracking cars back and forth all day long. So it can actually tell the difference between human movement and other types of movement. So when somebody walks past this camera, the camera will start to track them. In fact, let me run out there real fast and try this out. So yeah, this camera did a pretty good job of following me around out there and auto tracking my movement. It does not use the zoom function, just the pan and tilt. So because of that, this auto tracking can be used again on all three models: the classic PTZ, the pan and tilt model, or this Active Deterrence camera. Now, as you could tell in the setup menu here, there's no trigger actions. You can set a plan, so if you only want the auto tracking to happen during certain times of the day, you can set that up here. But there are no triggers to this. So if your camera is auto tracking movement, that's all it's doing. It's not necessarily uploading a recording to the micro SD card. It's not setting off the active deterrence features. So to do that, we have to come back into the intelligent menu, and we have to actually jump into human body detection. To enable human body detection, you can set up areas. So I have the area selected as the whole screen right now, but you can actually just select part of the screen if you want to. And what that's going to do is only look for human movement within that area. And we can set up some trigger actions, such as we can upload this to FTP, we can start recording on edge storage, we can go to a particular preset. All of these trigger actions are the same across the board, no matter what PTZ model you have. And obviously the difference with this active deterrence is it does have 2 extra trigger actions. We can sound an alarm and we can flash the light. Now again, there are 10 different audio sounds we can choose from, and we can make it repeat anytime between 1 and 50 times, and we can make this light blink anywhere between 1 and 600 times. So for now, I just have this set to audio 9, which is welcome.
Welcome.
And let's only have it repeat 1 time, simply because there are people that walk up and down the street and they use this parking lot. I don't want this camera to scare anybody, so we'll just be nice to them for now. Once again, you can set a plan. So for instance, if you only want your active deterrence features to go off at night, you can set this up so that it's not going to be flashing that light or sounding those alarms during the day. So this is a pretty incredible camera, and I know you guys are anxious to see some sample footage. You guys want to check out some of these active deterrence features. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check that out now.
You are in the danger zone. Do not approach. Please be aware. You are in the monitored area. Important place. Please leave. No parking. Please leave. Danger. Do not climb. Danger. Do not climb. Danger. Do not climb.
Well, that about wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this was helpful for you as you try to determine if these mini PTZs are right for you. Let us know if you have any questions at all about these products, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us across social media so you never miss a security-related video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.